This video I'm showing you how to divide a whole number by a decimal, and I'm looking at the first two problems from the homework as my guide. And so if you're doing the homework for this one, then this will help you get through the first two problems of the homework. So the first problem is I have 12 and I want to divide that by 5/10. So I look at that and I say, well, it's a division problem. I can't work it like this. I need to set it up the way that I'm used to solving division problems. So 12 is what is being divided. It's my dividend, and it's being cut up into smaller pieces by the divisor, 5/10. So I set it up this way. Now this just looks like, except for the decimal, it just looks like 12 divided by 5. What we're going to do, though, the easiest way to do this is we want to get rid of the decimal. It's kind of annoying. It needs to go away so that I can not worry about it anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this decimal and I'm going to move it and get it out of the way. And to get it out of the way, I've got to move it behind the 5. So if I do that, basically what I'm doing is I'm multiplying 5/10 times 10, and that's 5. If I do it here, I've also got to do it to the 12. There's no decimal showing up right now for the 12, but I know that 12 is a whole number, which means that the decimal is really right behind it. So if I moved it once here behind the 5, I've got to move it once here to the right behind the 12. Well, I can't have an empty space, so I fill it with a 0, and then I'm going to bring my decimal straight up above behind the 0. So now my problem, I don't have a decimal anymore, but it did change my division problem. My division problem now is 120 divided by 5. So I can go through and work that out. 5 can't go into 1, but it goes into 12. I have a 0 that I have to bring down, and 5 goes into 20 4 times, which is 20, and so that takes care of that. So my answer is 24. And I can check that with multiplication, because remember, my problem now was 120 divided by 5. So if I say 24 times 5, I should get back to my 120, which I do. So that one checks out. Okay? And then let's look at the second problem from the homework. The second one stated 32 divided by 2/10. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing for this one. 32 is the dividend, and it's being broken up into groups of 2/10. How many groups can we get it into? So I'm going to do the same thing. I want to get rid of the decimal, so I move it over here. That was one move. So my decimal is really behind 32. So I make my one move, puts it there. I got to fill the bucket with a 0, bring my decimal up. Now my problem is 320 divided by 2. I can do that. That's easy. Bring down the 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. That is 12. I've got one more 0 to bring down, and this is where I can't forget. 2 goes into 0 0 times. I have to remember, because my answer is not 16. 16 times 2 is not 320. 160 times 2 is 320.